Which brings me to the question, you talked about how, you see the World Teachers' Day being celebrated here, teachers closing schools and going to the stadiums to celebrate. And then you were wondering whether this doesn't say something about community participation and parents. A lot of people will tell you that in private schools, you do find that parents are very involved, perhaps because they're paying money for it. But in the public schools, we don't see that level of involvement. Do you think that it is our society in terms of where we are, in terms of development? Or do you think that because teachers have not been appreciated over the years, they have taken to celebrating themselves anyway?
Okay, I mean, I don't begrudge them for celebrating like they did yesterday. It was just ironic that you celebrate Teachers' Day, then you close down schools to go and all of that. Teachers should be celebrated every day, every week, in the U.S., at least in Arizona, where my kids go to school. We don't pay tuition and all of that, except for a few private schools. But we parents, we provide supplies. Like at the beginning of the school year, the teachers will have a list of supplies they need for the classroom, like papers, pens, Kleenex, wipes, and all of that. So we parents, we take delight in bringing those supplies. And on Teachers' Teacher Appreciation Week, teachers would send a list home and say, okay, we need these things for the classroom, sometimes books, sometimes just markers and things like that.
These are voluntary donations.
Voluntary, yeah. No, I mean, nobody will dock you for not donating. But see, as parents, we take pride. I mean, we take delight, in going to shop for school supplies and sending. And then every now and then, we send things like Valentine's Day, we send a card or gift or something, just a little thing, and Christmas, Easter, so teachers should be appreciated every day and not just one day where they go out and actually celebrate themselves. Parents should be more involved, and not just in the private schools, but in the public schools. Again,
and not having money, would that be an excuse?
No. Not having money is not an excuse, because I always say everybody has something to give. If you don't have the material things to give, you have your time, you have yourself to give. So you could go and volunteer in the classroom as a teacher aide. Sometimes the kids are, when my youngest child was in kindergarten, I used to go to his class every Friday just to volunteer to help the teacher, junior sit here, just things like that. Teachers feel appreciated, and then that's more help for them. So that's something that should be encouraged in this society, even in the public schools.
Some of the things that you've touched on here, because it's an all-inclusive task if we want to fix it. A lot of people need to come in and see what they can do, whether it's an open house day or some couple of other days. You go in, you volunteer, you have an interaction with these people other than your own child, and you get a feel of what it is like. But getting to bring about that kind of culture in us, what do you think we should be doing? Because for some few individuals, they've started doing a couple of these things you just highlighted. But how can we make it a holistic kind of culture to the extent that people feel really, really involved in it?
Okay. This is one of the things my children's school, they go to a charter school, which is like a private school, but you don't pay any money. Okay, so they go to a charter school. So what they do, they have in a year, you have to accumulate 30 credit points of volunteer hours. And so what that means is parents have to, try to get the credit. Again, it's not enforced. Nobody gets punished for not doing that, but it's encouraged, and parents take pride to go there, like maybe go and help with lunch during lunch time. And so here, what can we do to make, we can tell parents it's mandatory. When school opens, they should have open house. I don't know if they have open house on when school opens, or prior before school opens in public schools, not just in your private.
In public school, no, I don't know about
that. No, in public schools, so first day, maybe 2 days before the class begins officially, have open house, make it mandatory for parents to come to open house. Because again, that's maybe 1 hour of volunteer work, and then make them commit to coming in. It's like, okay, you, madam, I know you go to the market to sell crayfish, but on this day, we need you to come to school and help out in the classroom where your child is. And so I think our people will respond to that positively. They will. I think they will, because again, they'll feel, okay, we're being part of something. We're being part of this child's life. And no matter who you are, whether you have the money or you do not have the money, you can at least go and do something and help out, or just wipe the board, or whatever it is you can do that. And
that definitely goes a long way, as you said.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thank you very much indeed for coming on this morning. We've been speaking with Professor Patience Akpan-Obong, who is a professor of political science, Arizona State University, now a Fulbright U.S. scholar here in Covenant University. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Well, that's the segment for now, but let's just take some of your comments before we wrap them up. And yeah, we should take one or two here. Don't forget, okay, let's remind you, Dan, of what we talked about yesterday. Well, this is the first one of the emails, no, the tweets, first and foremost. Donwell, talking about revamping the education sector, says, if UNESCO's recommendation for education budget is, what's that, 29%?
26%, Chamberlain.
It become 26.
26% is right in there.
And we've been battling with, what, 11% for years? We need 30% to clear the mess.
Okay, he saw the rest of the figures. Beautiful. Well, Gaia says, the destiny of every society lies on the shoulders of the teachers. Teachers' well-being is cardinal to national development.
Very quickly, we'll take this one here from Professor Tam David West. He says he's watching the program, and he says, well, President Clinton in the United States was summoned to appear before the American Senate committee, and it did. So there's nothing totally wrong for the president to be summoned. And he went on to say the Constitution is also corruption in itself, that we should do away with the 36. Let me read from his exact words. He said, well, I know I'm one of the 50 that drafted it. The corruption is from the House. I can even say it is irresponsible and self-serving. In the United States, that has 50 states, they have only 15 ministers, which they call secretaries. So the type of constitution we have where we say minister per state, we have in 36. For a 36-state federation, it doesn't really work pretty well. We do hope that pretty soon we should have Tam David West to expatiate more on this, since he was one of those who drafted the Constitution.
Yeah, and that speaks directly to the kind of federalism we run. So here is this again. We'll bring it back to you, personal security. We talked about you knowing your neighbor, which is something will happen on the entire week. I mean, police authorities also reminding us, hey, you'll do well to call those emergency numbers. They remind us as well that they've got this community partnership, the police and the community. They like us to work together with them, perhaps taking a further leaf from volunteerism and see how that can help us.
It's something that everyone should do. We'll leave this until it becomes part of us. Ask questions if you can, challenge or ask questions about people in your neighborhood. Put a call across to someone, especially when you see strange faces in your locality or in your neighborhood. It helps.
Let's all get involved.
That's the message. Get involved. And for those who are saying Chamberlain for Minister, Women Affairs, I totally agree.
I thought that was you.
And he's wearing a pink shirt too, to tell you he's very much in tune with it. Well, thank you so much. I believe that that's supposed to be your cue, Chamberlain.
Okay, I'll volunteer to.
He already signed off, right?
Yeah, we did. Well, that's a sure.
Thank you for watching. I'm Maupe Ogun.
I'm with Maupe. Anything she says, I'm with her. So 2 against 1. I'm Sulaiman. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye-bye.